parties. Here's what's making news this morning. The new collective agreement between the Dalhousie University Board of Governors and its Faculty Association has been ratified. That means students are expected to return to class September 23rd.
People that lost their belongings to the Little Sackville apartment building fire on Monday have reached out to the community for support, and the community has responded. I'll have more coming up.
A new survey out from Narrative Research shows most Nova Scotians are satisfied with the performance of the provincial government. I'll have more details coming up.
And later, documents released by Nova Scotia show that a provincial home sharing program fell far short of the government's initial target.
The Halifax Tides looking for their elusive fourth win of the year. They're in Montreal tonight, and the Blue Jays lost a tight one in Tampa. Sports at 45. Markets eyeing fresh records to start the Thursday trade following the interest rate cuts from the Bank of Canada and the U.S. Federal Reserve. Business at 56.
95.7 News Time, 6:31. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. With Halifax's most frequent traffic reports, here is Gord Taylor.
Well, good morning. Very light action on the major routes this morning. That includes the McDonald and McKay bridges. No big problems on the 102 inbound as you make your way towards downtown. Work continues today on Willett between Dunbrack and Lacewood. Also on Pleasant Street between Old Ferry Road and Newcastle Street. If you see any traffic trouble, let us know on the 95.7 News Radio traffic tip line 902-493-7184. Get 20 or 30,000 points at Shoppers Drug Mart, a $20 or $30 value. Open your app, shop, and scan this Friday to Sunday. Conditions stay out. With your latest forecast, here's weather specialist Alistair Alders.
A bit unsettled today. I am expecting a few showers to move through the Halifax area. Otherwise, it is mainly cloudy. 21 degrees the guaranteed high today. Southwesterlies gusting 20 to 40 this afternoon. The winds are relatively light tonight, down to 16 degrees with mainly cloudy skies, but that chance of showers lingers. Fog patches developing. And then for Friday, some sun in the morning, but cloud cover building in for the afternoon with a few showers along the cold front. 21 the high with a west to northwest wind of 20 to 40. And then on Saturday, lots of sunshine, but a breezy northwest wind and a high of only 16. Today's guaranteed high, 21.
And right now in downtown Halifax, it's 13. At the airport, 14. Guaranteed high, 21. We'll have another check of traffic and weather together in less than 10 minutes. 95.7 News Time, 6:33. Well, the new collective agreement between the Dalhousie University Board of Governors and the Dalhousie Faculty Association has been ratified by both parties. The Dal Faculty Association saying their members overwhelmingly supported the new 3-year agreement. The association also saying the vote had a participation rate of nearly 95%. The DFA saying the deal includes a raise of over 10% over the 3 years, increased parental leave benefits, and a requirement for each faculty to develop workload policies to ensure a more fair and equitable distribution of workload. DFA members expected to return to work today, and suspended classes will resume on Tuesday, September 23rd. The HRM community has responded to those who lost their homes and belongings to the Middle Sackville apartment building fire earlier this week. 95.7's Blake Priddle with the story.
The 3-alarm fire on Henwell Road on Monday night forced 180 people to evacuate, forcing them to lose their possessions to the fire. One GoFundMe was set up not only to help a family that lost everything, but to help their cat that suffered smoke inhalation and requires veterinary care. That fundraiser raised 80% of its goal as of Wednesday afternoon. Another fundraiser was set up for a single mother and her daughter who lost all of their belongings to the fire. Thankfully, that fundraiser received more than $5,000 as of Wednesday afternoon. The building involved in the fire is no longer structurally safe, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation. You can learn more about these fundraisers by visiting our website, halifax.citynews.ca. I'm Blake Priddle.
Well, just over half of Nova Scotians are satisfied with the performance of the Houston government. That, according to a new survey from Narrative Research. 95.7's Chris Halef takes a look.
Here in Nova Scotia, the survey shows 57% of residents are satisfied with the Houston government's performance. Now that's up 3% from the same time period last year, but down 3 points since May of 2025. Newfoundland and Labrador with 66% of residents satisfied, followed by PEI, New Brunswick, and then our province. Meantime, Narrative Research says 59% of Nova Scotians surveyed are satisfied with the federal government's performance. In Atlantic Canada as a whole, 6 out of 10 residents, or 61%, were satisfied with the federal government's performance, the highest overall satisfaction rate with the feds since the end of 2020. I'm Chris Halef.
Documents released by Nova Scotia show that a provincial home sharing program fell far short of the government's initial target. The documents were released to the Canadian press through Freedom of Information legislation and show that the government was aiming to have 500 active homeowners with tenants in the Happy Pad program. It wound up delivering 60 leases over 2 years at a cost of $1.35 million. The Nova Scotia government announced the program in August of 2023 as a way to help people find affordable housing by partnering with the nonprofit Happy Pad that operates an online home sharing platform. With 60 leases signed, the program wound up costing over $22,000 per lease. One of the chief executive officers at J.D. Irving being treated for cancer. Spokesperson Mark Doucette says Robert Irving had successful surgery for cancer on July 29th and is now undergoing treatment. He says co-CEO Jim Irving will be leading operations for the New Brunswick company while his brother recovers. Doucette didn't specify where Irving is being treated and for what kind of cancer. J.D. Irving employs about 20,000 people across various sectors, including agriculture, forestry, and shipbuilding. You're listening to 95.7 News Radio. Well, Prime Minister Mark Carney is flying to Mexico today, where he is expected to sign a strategic partnership, between Canada and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum.
Senior government officials say the agreement will cover infrastructure, trade, health, agriculture, emergency preparedness, and security. Carney's 2-day visit to Mexico City is happening as Ottawa seeks more trade with Mexico in response to the United States' trade war. Both countries, of course, are bracing for the renegotiation of CUSMA, the continental trade deal linking all three economies. Rob Westgate, the Canadian Press.
Now, meantime, a group of U.S. senators trying to block U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs against Canada. The 4 Democrats and 1 Republican calling Trump's trade war senseless, and they're trying to force a vote on his use of emergency legislation. Trump blamed fentanyl for his tariffs, but even U.S. government data shows only a minuscule volume of the drug is seized at our shared border. Federal government urging the Supreme Court to set limits on how provinces can override the Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
Ottawa brought forward the request as part of the landmark case on Quebec's secularism law, which bans government workers in positions of authority from wearing religious symbols on the job. The notwithstanding clause can be used by provinces to shield their legislation from constitutional challenges. But the federal government urges the court to set limits on how that clause could be invoked. Ontario and Alberta have supported the use of the notwithstanding clause, calling it an essential part of the Constitution, and they say it should not be undermined by the country's top court. Jason White, the Canadian Press.
And a big shock rippling through the worlds of media and entertainment. Jimmy Kimmel Live did not air last night, and it won't for the foreseeable future after a monologue the comedian delivered on Monday about the shooting of Charlie Kirk was met with a swift right-wing backlash.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and do everything they can to score political points from.
Those are the comments that set off a cascade of criticism from social media to the broadcast regulator all the way up to the White House. Earlier yesterday on a conservative podcast, the chairman of the FCC and Trump ally Brendan Carr said ABC affiliate station owners should take matters into their own hands and threatened to preempt the show in order to pressure the ABC network to pull the show entirely. FCC Commissioner Anna Gomez, who was appointed by Joe Biden, tells CNN Kimmel's remarks may have been crude and distasteful, but says that's not grounds to take him off the air.
That is neither legal nor grounds for companies to capitulate to this administration in ways that violate the First Amendment. We must be careful not to allow the government to punish critics simply because of content. This sets a dangerous new precedent, and companies must stand firm against any efforts to trade away First Amendment freedoms.
And in a social media post last night, Trump congratulated ABC for, quote, finally having the courage to do what had to be done. You're listening to 95.7 News Radio.
You have a vision for your future, whether you're planning on updating your space to be more livable or you're thinking of new ways to add value to your home. Capital Direct is here to help you get there faster. We have a team of people with the right skills and experience to provide your solutions. How would you use $80,000, $280,000, or even $2.8 million? Our team is looking forward to hearing from you. Call Capital Direct at 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL. Let's make your ideas happen together. CapitalDirect.ca. New fall fashion from TSE has me showing up and looking great every day. With footwear that's comfy and cute, jackets and coats that don't just keep me warm, they turn sidewalks into runways, and handbags that work on or off the clock. Because I'm always moving, and TSE fashion keeps up. Bold outfits, accessories I love, easy pay on everything, jewelry that makes my look shine, and great savings on styles I'll be reaching for again and again. Shop new fall fashion now at TSC.ca. Exciting offers every day.
Traffic for Shoppers Drug Mart. Get 20 or 30,000 points at Shoppers Drug Mart. A $20 or $30 value. Open your app, shop, and scan. This Friday and Saturday. Conditions in app.
95.7 News Time, 6:41. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. With Halifax's most frequent traffic reports, here is Gord Taylor.
Well, good morning. No collisions to report and not seeing a lot of vehicles on the roads so far. We're looking good around the Bedford Basin. Both the McDonald and McCabe bridges are moving well. There's light build up on Main Street approaching Forest Hills Parkway, but very minor at the moment. Keep an eye out for construction today on Lawrencetown Road, closed between Mineville and Bellefontaine Court. They're doing culvert replacement until September 26th. Get 20 or 30,000 points at Shoppers Drug Mart, a $20 or $30 value. Open your app, shop, and scan this Friday to Sunday. Conditions in app. With the latest forecast, here's weather specialist Alistair Alders.
Mainly cloudy with a few scattered showers expected today, with southwesterly winds gusting 20 to 40 kilometers per hour this afternoon. 21 degrees, the guaranteed high today, still above where we should be for this time of year, just cooler than the last couple of days. And then tonight, mainly cloudy, chance of showers will linger with fog patches developing, 16 the overnight low. For Friday, a cold front moves into the region. I do expect a bit of sunshine in the morning, but more clouds in the afternoon with a few showers expected and a high of 21 degrees. I mean, we will certainly take these showers, just unfortunate that it's not more widespread rain or more beneficial. And then Saturday, sunny with a breezy northwesterly wind and a high of only 16. Today's guaranteed high 21.
And right now in downtown Halifax, 13. At the airport, 14. Guaranteed high 21. 95.7 News Radio is the only station with a weather guarantee, and today's jackpot sits at $1,975. For your chance to win, head to halifax.citynews.ca and then follow the links. 95.7 News Time, 6:43. Well, Canada-wide protests are being planned for this weekend in what a coalition of civil society groups say is an emerging common front to elements of the new Liberal government's agenda. Organizers of Saturday's Draw the Line protests say Prime Minister Mark Carney's support for new fossil fuel projects, expected public service cuts, expanded military support, and new border measures are some of the concerns motivating the coordinated day of action. Amara Posayan is the Canada team lead with Global Climate Group 350.org.
These are the things that the government has chosen to prioritize, and so, yeah, it's just clear that we need to unite across movements and put forward an agenda that puts people first.
Prime Minister's office did not respond to our request for comment by last evening. Coming up after sports, U.S. President Donald Trump receiving a royal reception at Windsor Castle, but beyond the castle walls, many protesters not welcoming his unprecedented second state visit to the UK. You're listening to 95.7 News Radio.
You know the usual spots you'll find Atlantic Lottery. Woohoo! But now you've got even more choice. Because with the Atlantic Lottery mobile app and ALC.ca, you can play your favorite games anywhere. There are over 500 online bingo, casino, and instant win games to choose from. When you can play anywhere, play here. What game will you try first? Play online at ALC.ca or on the Atlantic Lottery app. Must be 19 or over. Casino games are not available in PEI.
Hey, it's Rick Campanelli. Right now, we have a massive $5,000 Shoppers Drug Mart gift card for you to win. Yeah, the Shoppers Beauty Plus event is back and bringing you more than ever before. More points, more brands, more beauty. Shop in-store or online and head to seekyoursounds.com/contests for your chance
agreement between the Dalhousie University Board of Governors and the Dal Faculty Association has been ratified by both parties. The Dalhousie Faculty Association saying that their members overwhelmingly supported the new 3-year agreement. As well, fundraisers have been set up to assist the residents displaced from the apartment fire in Middle Sackville earlier this week. And coming up after sports, authorities say 3 police officers were fatally shot, 2 wounded in southern Pennsylvania. 95.7 News Time, 6:45. Now from Sportsnet Radio, here's Simon Bennett.
Well, it's been a rough first season for the Halifax Tides, but their playoff hopes aren't done yet. They will be if they lose tonight, basically needing to win out and get help to have any chance. They look to stay in the hunt in Montreal tonight, kickoff at 8 o'clock. The Toronto Blue Jays no closer to clinching anything than they were a day ago, falling 2-1 in Tampa last night. Well-pitched game by Kevin Gausman. Rays starter Ian Seymour in the arms that followed. Chandler Simpson drove in the eventual winning run in the 7th. His earlier catch over the wall to deny Alejandro Kirk a home run may have been the biggest play of the night. Todd Grisham homered twice for the Yankees. They beat Minnesota 10-5. So Toronto's magic numbers remain 3 to cement their playoff spot, 6 to clinch the division, 1 more for the Jays at Steinbrenner Field, 2 o'clock on Sportsnet. Now that NHL camps have officially opened, the practices begin. Teams will hit the ice for real around the league today. Flames captain Mikhail Backlund will be testing the market next summer, signing a 2-year extension. He's entering his 18th season in Calgary. You're ready for the Halifax Moosehead season? Game 1 in Charlottetown tomorrow. NFL tonight, the Buffalo Bills are heavy favorites for a 3-0 start. They're home against AFC East rivals Miami. Now, I say rivals, but it's been very one-sided lately. Miami hasn't won at Highmark Stadium since 2016. That goes at 9:15. Big curling news. Brad Gushue announced on social this coming season will be his last. He's a 6-time prior champ, has won the Worlds and Olympic gold. At 45, he says he's ready for more family time. For the Sports Center, I'm Simon Bennett.
Big news for anyone thinking of driving electric. The time is now. The Nero family has rates starting as low as 0% at O'Regan's Kia, Halifax and Dartmouth. Go fully electric and say goodbye to the pumps. Or choose hybrid and cut your fuel stops in half. Enjoy high performance, whisper quiet driving, and significant savings. With rates from 0%, keeping money in your pocket has never been easier. It all starts with a test drive at O'Regan's Kia, Halifax and Dartmouth.
O'Regan's, driving higher standards. Find support at Parkland, offering personalized support, exceptional care, and a welcoming home. You will feel comfortable, connected, and well cared for. With lifestyle options for assisted living, memory care, and enriched care, our dedicated team works with residents and families, providing peace of mind with 24/7 support that evolves as needs change. Parkland isn't just a place to live, it's a place to thrive. Visit experienceparkland.com to learn more.
You're listening to 95.7 News Radio. U.S. President Donald Trump receiving a royal reception at Windsor Castle, but beyond the castle walls, many protesters did not welcome his unprecedented second state visit to the UK. ABC reporter Mary Bruce with the story.
Miles from Windsor, thousands taking to the streets of London to protest Trump's visit.
Donald Trump, you can't hide!
And the night before the president arrived, protesters projecting images of Trump and sex offender Jeffrey Epstein on the walls of Windsor Castle. But the president basking in the glow of a royal welcome.
And the number of people participating in that march much smaller than 6 years ago when Trump visited London during his first term. Authorities say 3 police officers were fatally shot, 2 wounded in southern Pennsylvania, the shooter killed by police. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro saying it was an absolutely tragic and devastating day for York County.
You need to help the people who think that picking up a gun, picking up a weapon is the answer to resolving disputes. You need to do better when it comes to mental health. We need to do better when it comes to looking out for those who are in need.
A local school district issued a shelter-in-place order, though it said schools and students were not involved in that shooting. Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and weather together on the ones and finding an alternative to the front lawn in times of drought. You're listening to 95.7 News Radio.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather in Halifax.
95.7
News Radio.
Great news, gardeners! Fall bulbs have arrived at Halifax Seed. Now is the perfect time to start planting and planting bulbs to bloom next spring. And Halifax Seed has over 300 varieties to choose from. Tulips, daffodils, allium, crocus, and many more. Hurry in while selection
location is best. Halifax Seed has all the tools and expert advice to help you grow the best looking garden on your block. Spread the word. Fall bulbs have arrived at Halifax Seed.
Halifax Seed, Kane Street, between Roby and Agricola.
Hear that? The sweet sounds of sleeping in on a Saturday morning, which of course never happens when you have kids. But today your partner took them to morning practice and left you a coffee. The last time you felt this kind of relief was when you switched to CAA Insurance. Remember that? Their policy review helped make sure you and the family have the protection you need. So indulge in a little more shut-eye, because it looks like there's more than one thing helping you rest easier. CAA Insurance Company.
95.7 News Time 6:51. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Halifax's most frequent traffic reports. Here is Gord Taylor.
Oh, good morning. Traffic's light as you're traveling around the atrium so far. There's some buildup though on Main Street approaching Forest Hills Parkway. The circuit's moving well from Woodside to the McKay Bridge. Both the McDonald and McKay Bridges are seeing light action heading towards Halifax. Construction continues today on Dunbrack from Lacewood to Main Avenue. We have construction running from 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. Get 20 or 30,000 points at Shoppers Drug Mart, a $20 or $30 value. Open your app, shop, and scan this Friday to Sunday. Conditions in app. With your latest forecast, here's weather specialist Alistair Alders.
Mainly cloudy with a few showers expected today. 21 degrees the guaranteed high with southwesterly winds gusting 20 to 40 this afternoon. A chance of showers will linger tonight with mainly cloudy skies. Fog patches expected to develop. 16 degrees the overnight low. Then 21 on Friday with some sun in the morning, but cloud cover expected in the afternoon. And along a cold front, a few more showers with a west to northwest wind of 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. We will certainly take any showers we can get. Just unfortunate it's not a more widespread, longer lasting rain, because obviously we do need the rain. And then conditions look dry for the weekend. Fall like Saturday with a high of 16. Sunshine with a breezy northwesterly wind. Sunday is sunny and warmer 18. And then Monday, fall officially arrives at 3:19 p.m. with mainly sunny skies and a high of 19. Today's guaranteed high.
Good morning, may I take your order?
Good morning. Could I get a breakfast sandwich on a biscuit sausage with a little bit of chipotle added to it? And just a small double-double.
Anything on the side?
That's everything. Thank you.
Okay, $6.45.
Hey, good morning. Good, thank you.
The latest on this, as well as other top stories coming up to the top of the hour with Mark Hodgins. You're listening to 95.7 News Radio.
Halifax's trusted news.
Thank you.
News Radio. Dry summer resulting in some people thinking about alternatives to their homelands. AP correspondent Ed Donahue.
A drier, warmer climate is boosting interest in low water landscaping to get away from green lawns.
Thanks. You have a great day.